ValveTime.net.
Hi, and welcome to the ValveTime Halloween News. Each week we'll bring you the biggest talking points regarding Valve, the community, and spooky ghost sightings. Ooh. Now the skeletons. News. With Halloween fast approaching on Friday of this week, Valve were ready to get the Halloween-themed party going a little earlier than normal with the release of Counter-Strike Global Offensive's themed update dubbed Halloween Mask-erade. As the rather punny name suggests, this year's CSGO update is largely focused on the temporary inclusion of themed masks, which are randomly assigned to a player's model at the start of a new round. The designs featured on the randomized mask range between mugshots of the Team Fortress 2 character classes, pumpkins, animal masks, and even a few clown variants more commonly seen covering the faces of Payday the Heist's main cast. Don't worry, naysayers, as the masks are far from permanent cosmetic items and cannot be manually equipped, meaning they will only last as long as the Halloween update itself, or as long as the server owner keeps the newly introduced SV_holiday_mode command set to 1. The Halloween update has also introduced a few more minor but still rather nice tweaks, including giving players the chance to see the ghostly figures of fallen teammates during the death freeze camps. It would seem chickens have also been affected by the time of year, as killing a chicken will now cause it to slowly resurrect from the depths of chicken hell before continuing to shuffle around the battlefield as a zombie before being killed once more. The update also introduced a number of not particularly spooky layout and visual changes for Mirage and Inferno. These include a slightly larger balcony at Bomb Site B and a more open skybox at the CT spawn in Mirage, the removal of wacky boosts and the addition of some relaxing wind chimes to Infernal CT spawn, and hey, did someone steal the boiler again? For more information on the spooky and not very spooky inclusions introduced with the Halloween Mask-erade update, head on over and check out the official changelog and the announcement post over on the CSGO website. As the undisputed king of Halloween, Team Fortress 2 wasn't going to be outdone by Counter-Strike. Shortly before the release of the Mask-erade update on Wednesday, Valve announced Scream Fortress Classic, a small update to Team Fortress 2 which reintroduced all 5 of the previously released Scream Fortress events in order to let people get ready for this year's event while collecting themed hats or items they may have missed from years gone by. This means the main menu now features the full Halloween theme, and a pair of Halloween-only playlists are available using the Quick Play option. All Halloween cosmetic items can also be equipped and worn in-game, and haunted Halloween gifts can now be found on supported maps. A second update released a day later then fixed numerous issues, including not being able to apply Halloween spells to cosmetic items and some layout issues regarding the Spell and Wheel of Fate heads-up displays clipping with the killstreak icons. While there may not be any new content just yet, we're eagerly looking forward to next week's events given how much Valve continues to up the ante every year. As always, we'll keep you posted as soon as Scream Fortress 2014 is announced. On last week's episode, we spoke about Steam's recent introduction of the Norwegian krone and Canadian dollar before mentioning that 3 of the 5 remaining currencies were still set to be introduced in late 2014. Well, on Tuesday, Valve announced that both the Mexican Peso and Turkish Lira have been added throughout the Steam store, meaning users in both of the affected regions should now see their own national currency appear on every page rather than the more generically used American dollar. All currency present in a user's Steam wallet at the time has been converted into the national currencies based on the international exchange rate. A pair of new pages provides detailed explanations of which online banking methods and credit cards are accepted within the newly introduced regions, so head on over to take a look if you want to get started. For those wondering, this leaves the South Korean won as the final currency to be introduced in late October, while the Australian and New Zealand dollars will follow in early 2015. On Friday, it was announced Steam has been awarded the Platform of the Year award at this year's Golden Joysticks Award, making it the second year in a row Steam and Valve have taken home the prize for this category. To celebrate, Gabe Newell released a short video to thank voters who participated and to congratulate the Golden Joystick Awards for successfully running their 32nd event. Congratulations to both Valve and the Golden Joystick Awards. If you want to take a look at the latest incarnation of Gabe Newell, or if you want to sneak a peek at how the Valve lobby appears during the Halloween season, head on over to check out the acceptance video for yourself. Not to be outdone by the rest of the games and software, Dota 2 also received an update this past week, albeit a rather small one. That isn't to say it wasn't significant, however, as Valve announced that they have recently been rolling out a new mechanism for releasing updates, a system that has reduced the total size of Dota 2 patches while removing the need to restart the game client after every single update. That said, the client will still need to be restarted in order to download updates which involve game dependencies. It should just remove the annoyance of having to quit out of the game in between matches just to download 2 bug fixes or something similar. Don't forget that, unlike CSGO and TF2, which are both already celebrating Halloween, it's pretty unlikely Dota 2 will be getting an update this year after Valve announced Tide would not be returning due to the team focusing their attention elsewhere. That said, we also shouldn't be surprised if Valve jumped out with a totally new Halloween-themed game mode like they did with the Wraith Knight update in December, but we'll just have to wait and see, as we feel even that is pretty unlikely. On Tuesday, we were approached by some ex-ValveTime staff members who were looking to show us their latest project, a hand-drawn, entirely community-made Half-Life comic. The comic, known as Half-Life: A Place in the West, is being written by Ross Gardner and Michael Pelletier, and takes place in the United States sometime in the early years following the Black Mesa incident at the beginning of Half-Life 1. A brief synopsis of the comic's website mentions the 6-issue series follows 3 people who are each in their own way drawn to a strange, half-destroyed American city called Franklin, wherein they find a group of survivors who have paid a terrible price for their freedom. Given that the comic series is set in the United States, it's unlikely many established characters or locations from Half-Life canon will make an appearance, but that's probably for the best, as Ross and Michael should be able to experiment more while telling their own independent story based in the same fictional universe. Currently, only the first 3 pages of the comic are available, with the next part coming on Monday the 3rd of November 2014. From there, each of the 6 issues will feature around 30 to 40 pages and will be released in 6 individual parts over the course of several months, eventually reaching well into 2015. Given the lack of Half-Life news over the past few weeks and the upcoming 10th anniversary of Half-Life 2, we thought mentioning the comic on our front page and here on the show is something you guys would really appreciate. If you're interested, head on over and check out the first few pages of issue 1, Following Portents, to let us know what you think. With Halloween approaching on Friday of this week, it's once again time for our now annual costume contest. For this year's contest, we're going to be giving away 2 copies of Left 4 Dead 2 to one lucky winner. To take part, simply take 1 or more photographs of yourself dressed up as a Valve character for Halloween or for any other occasion, and then email them to nick@valvetime.net, along with some basic information including your name, age, the date the photo was taken, and a link to either your Facebook or Twitter account, so we have a few extra ways to contact you should you win. Don't forget to let us know whether or not you're okay with us showing the photograph on our Facebook page in next week's roundup should you win. Providing links to Facebook and Twitter profiles also helps us to verify that you are indeed the person in the image, and that you didn't just pull something from Google Images, not that any of our loving, trusting community would ever do anything like that. After we've selected our winner, their photograph will be shown on next week's roundup before we contact them shortly after the episode is released. Don't worry, you can still win even if you don't provide us with the consent to show your photograph, we just won't show it, obviously. Good luck to everyone who plans on taking part. We can't wait to see what kinds of costumes you guys come up with. And that'll do it for this week of Valve News. Now that we're moving into the real Halloween territory, you can count this video as the start of Halloween week here at ValveTime. Over the next week, we're hoping to release a number of Halloween-themed videos from a number of different series, so hopefully there'll be something for everyone. We'll be releasing them as they're completed throughout the week, so keep your eyes peeled for new videos. We're also planning to run another Halloween gameplay giveaway event sometime later this week, so be on the lookout for an announcement sometime on Wednesday or Thursday. To stay up to date with all of the Halloween goodness, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, to follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and to join the conversation over on the ValveTime.net forums. If you enjoy our content, don't forget to share our videos with your friends and to rate our Dota 2 announcer pack positively over on the Steam Workshop. Have a happy Halloween, everyone. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.